this one. Let's see. I gave you all this too, right? The last time I gave you this one.
Yeah, in that big packet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the class before, right? I know I gave it. I know you have one.
Yeah, I have it.
You have one, right? You don't have one.
No, thank you so much.
You have one of these? I think so. You got it? I think you got it.
I have two questions on
No,
it.
you got it from before. I don't know. You have it? No. I have this online too. You can download it. Okay, in most systems, what we do, we deal with the 7 major chakras. And that's the chakras along the spine. And usually we never really talk about the crown chakra, but we speak about the 6 chakras. Because those are the chakras of development. And today we're going to try to bring some type of understanding to this. Last week we talked about, I told you that the soul pushes the energy down Sushumna, and which is the spine, and forces forces the karmic pressures to put this Shakti power into a 3.5 knot, what we call Kundalini, right? And that becomes the vehicle of consciousness for us, right? And for the soul, which is the soul is us. And when this come about, when this tremendous pressure comes about here, the 3.5 knot that's formed here. You have a 3.5 knot that's formed here that we recognize as Kundalini, because the Shakti power goes into a dormant state. This knot brings it into a dormant state. And then what happens is the great awareness that this Shakti power that the soul has used it goes away. It goes into this dormant state. So only a small percentage of the Kundalini is still active. So over 90% of the Kundalini is asleep, is not active. So the vehicle that the soul is using is called a vehicle of consciousness now. The Shakti power is no longer has this, this ability of great awareness to be connected to the whole. So now the Shakti power becomes unwhole. It becomes not whole, they tell us in the ancient books. So when that happens, a series of things begin to happen. The consciousness begins to create a desire to become whole again. This small consciousness, it begins to want to become whole. So as I told you, what happens, the power is split. So now the Shakti power is split up into a positive power or energy, right? Into a positive energy flow and a negative energy flow. Now, these two energy flows Normally they are together, and they want to join back together. So that's what creates the thing we call the nadis. That moves up and down and goes into all the chakras. And as I told you, it terminates itself here. And as I told you, that it actually splits up and travel 242,000 flows of energy, or nadis. What we call these the nadis. Now, the pressure that's built up here, and the force that makes this flow is desire to become whole again. Now, in doing this, in this whole state, this state brings about a lot of stuff. It puts us into a time cycle. That's right. It puts us into a time cycle, right? Which puts the consciousness into a time cycle which is past, present, right?
Future.
And future. For some reason, our awareness leaves us, and we get stuck in this past, present, and future. Is our new state of consciousness.
You mean our awareness of who we truly are?
Our awareness, yeah. Our awareness, the awareness of the soul. The soul has this all awareness. When the soul pushed the Shakti down into the base chakra, the consciousness split up. So therefore, the consciousness is no longer aware of the whole. It's only aware of the part. And in order to grasp the whole, it separates it into past, present, and future.
But doesn't that correspond to the 3.5 knots?
Yes, it corresponds to the 3.5 knots. So this makes up what we know as the basic consciousness. All right. So in doing that, something else developed. A quality of mind substance. Now all of us are in a mind substance, in the state of this mind substance, right? There's 3 qualities to mind substance at this level. Everybody understand what mind substance is? Huh? It's an energy. I remember I told you last week, mind is everywhere. Mind is not really contained in the body, but it's everywhere, right? So it's a form of energy. So you have a sattvic level of mind substance, a rajas level of mind substance, and a tamas. The tamas is the earth or inertia. It's a dog type mind substance, where most of the world is right now, right? And the rajas is more of desire and attachment, right? And the sattvic is a pure type mind substance. Now, at this level, where you think we at?
Thomas.
We at the Thomas. And here, you probably, most people operate between 70 to 90%, right? And then with the rajas, they operate between 70 to 90%. They interchange. And then the tamas, they operate from 1% to maybe 9. you know. And now the higher you get, the higher you move your level of consciousness, these numbers begin to reverse itself. And the more the higher you become, you know, like this is a state of consciousness. This is a state of consciousness here. The base is a state of consciousness. The sex center is a state of consciousness. Now, when your consciousness, as your consciousness is raised, then you use less of the thymus, less of the rajas. It is not until you begin to operate out of the heart center that you have great illumination. And it's very little thymus here. Okay? You have more solid here. And the rajas is operating on a whole nother level of attachment. You know, but in the base, in these three basic chakras, you're fighting with, you know, with this great distortion of mind substance, or this astral desire that most people call. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And in doing so, we're going to look at, I want to look at the pranas that's operating through these chakras. Anybody look at, do I have the pranas listed here?
The presiding prana, number 13.
Okay. Now, apana. Okay. I don't want that. I don't want the presiding.
What you looking for?
I want the flow. I just got to go on top of my head.
What you want to start at the base of the...
Yeah. The base, well, we know what the base is.
The base and the sex of the prana.
Yeah, but it's reverse. It's talking about, I want to talk about the centralization of it. Okay. And I want to relate it to functions of the mind. And we know that the base is apana, right? Because apana flows. Apana flows from the base to the solar, right? And in the solar, you have samana, right?
Yes, together, bro.
And here, at the throat, you have
Udana.
udana, right? At the heart, you have prana. In the throat, you have udana. And at the sex, Now, Vijnana is centralized in the sex center, but apana passes through Vijnana. And Vijnana is throughout the entire body. So if I don't have that there, put that there. Vijnana travels through the entire body. Okay? And it originates from the sex. Now, apana travels to the solar plexus, and prana travels through the solar plexus. Udana is centralized in the throat, but it also flows through the arms, the hands, Okay? And now when the prana, the prana is mostly, it goes from the heart to the solar plexus. Just to the tip of the solar plexus and back. Okay? And what does this tell us mentally? This part of the body, or the chakras, it deals mostly with what? The base deals mostly with, or if we look on a physical level, what does it deal with?
Sustenance.
Substance, right? Waste, physical material, right? And we call that the earth center. We call the base center the earth center. Earth or fire, you know. Earth and fire in the Hindu or the Hindu or Buddhist is the same thing. The sex center, the sex center deals with what? It deals with reproduction, right? It also deals with waste and solids and liquids. Right? The solar plexus center deals with what? It deals with
Hunger.
with
Okay.
waste again, circulation, nutrition. It deals with the physical body, with the physical parts of the body. Now, this is, and also all of man's passion, right, can be summed up in those three chakras when you look at that. Because we have a passion for a food, where's that passion coming from?
Stomach.
Stomach. You know, if we have a passion for the opposite sex, where's it coming from?
Genitals.
The genitals, right? So all of man's passion is coming from those three chakras. You know, all of our technology is built around positive and negative. When mankind move above these centers, then you will see greater technology. Because he have yet to develop something without this positive and negative that you can physically see. You know, you can always see, although positive and negative is used throughout the universe. But there's a way to use it where it's positive, negative, neutral, and neither. You know, there's a way to align energy that way. So all of our passions, all our desires, all our hatred is built up here. Now also, that's on the physical level. On the mental level, the base chakra is, as we described, the basic consciousness is our conscious mind. We have a conscious mind. We have a subconscious mind. We have what else?
Super conscious.
A super conscious mind, right? Now, our conscious mind operates between the base and the sex chakra. Our subconscious mind operates mostly in the sex, but also in the base and the solar. Now, the conscious mind is what you use now in order to listen to me, right? And the subconscious mind is taking care of all your involuntary functions right now. Your heartbeat, your respiration, you know, the flow of blood, everything in the body. Now, when you look at that, the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind is recognized is mostly in our sex chakra and in our base, and the functioning part of it is in our solar plexus, which makes sense because the solar plexus region, you have the stomach, the small intestines, the large intestines, the liver, the kidneys, the bladder. You have all these, you know, all these functions. Now this is totally physical. This is totally physical, and it takes care of the physical and the astral body. These centers, these three centers, take care of the physical and astral body, and most of the function is here. It's the subconscious and conscious mind. So our goal is to become super conscious. So we have to move out of this region, and move to the heart, throat, and Christ. And without giving you a bunch of Sanskrit names for all this stuff, that's basically what it is. You know, because here, these centers take care of our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our physical makeup. It doesn't take us into the higher, you know, consciousness. Although when you can push the full power of Kundalini through it, you can use, you know, the physical body, the astral body, you know, to its highest, you know, level. But, you know, you're dealing with the basic dark part of yourself in these three chakras, and because you have to control the passions, all the different passions, you know, and one of the things that Kundalini does when it goes through there, and that's why most of the teachings today are telling you that service is the #1 type of development. You know, service to the world, Bhakti Yoga, you know, Kama Yoga and Bhakti Yoga, which is service to the world and devotion, is because when you have acts of service and devotion, you burn up negative karma. You burn up these passions. You begin to move in a sattvic state of mind, and you decrease the thymus and the rajas. So because when Kundalini does rise, it won't have all the work that it needs to do, because Kundalini is a fire. It's a consciousness of fire, and when it comes up through these, when it leaves the base chakra and come to the sex chakra, it burns up these passions. That's what it does. It burns up. So in this, you know, when the Kundalini rises to the sex chakra, you go through a tremendous craving and desire for all these passions. I mean, it'll send you to a state of madness. You know, the passion and desire that you feel before it's burnt up. And before that chakra opening, you experience all those passions and desires, you know. And going through and experiencing that and having the cravings, the Kundalini is burning that up. And then when it goes to the next chakra, the same thing. It burns up all the physical cravings that are associated with the solar plexus. You know, so by the act of devotion, prayer, service to humanity, it burns up those negative karmas or samskaras on the aura. Now, the largest part of the mind, and when I say mind, I don't want you to think about
Brain.
The brain. I want you to look at this and think about, see this little ovoid shape? Think about the auric body, the auric field, that's your mind. So the largest portion of your mind is what? Who knows? What's the largest portion of the mind or the auric field?
The subconscious.
The subconscious mind. The subconscious, huh?
I thought some of those functions were actually managed by the centers below the spine.
What?
Some of those subconscious bodily functions, are any of them managed by the centers below the base of the spine?
Some of them are, but I don't want to confuse you, because I don't like teaching on those. But the subconscious mind, the subconscious mind is the largest portion of man's mind. So that means that the subconscious mind makes up the largest portion of your auric body. So the auric field that's around you, most of that is the subconscious mind. So we're told that this energy that's radiating from the sex chakra pervades the entire body. Now we have we can connect the dots. That's why. So the sex energy pervades the whole body. It pervades the whole body. Okay, the energy that's in the sex chakra pervades the whole body. Now, to make it real easy for you so you can understand it real good, the sex energy in the body is the thing that holds the body together. It's the thing that holds the body together. It's the marrow and the bone. It's the bone. It's the ligaments that hold all the joints together, right? It's any type of phlegm is sex energy. The semen is sex energy. The orgasm of a woman is sex energy. All right? The thing that prepares the brain to receive higher knowledge is the sex energy. so the sex energy is called ojaz, right? This is the thing that we need to control in order to move forward. And that's why I was saying that last week when we talked about it, I said that you have to have some type of control over your sex drive. Now, if you notice that when you engage in sex, afterwards you feel very relaxed, right? Because you just depleted the energy that holds the body together. That's why boxers, wrestlers are taught don't have sex before a fight. Athletes, they tell them, no, you can't have sex before a game. Because why? They know that it depletes the ligaments and the bone. Now, what is bone marrow? Anybody know what bone marrow does? Anyone know what bone marrow does? What does bone marrow produce?
Blood vessels?
Blood. And the life energy of your body is that's our comic limitation. Eve got Adam to eat the apple or the fruit. So, right? So that's what that whole that whole aphorism, because it's not real, but that whole aphorism, that's what it's talking about. All right? That because of that, the woman would have to bear the children of of Adam. We have to carry them for a term or whatever. And in other words, man will be produced through this organ, and he would sustain his life through this organ, through this energy, that type of energy. That's all what it means, So because of that, we have to control the energy now, and that's why in Tantra in Tantra Yoga, you have, in the packet I gave you last week, I talked about the left hand. I really didn't go into it too much, the left hand and the right hand, but this is what it's about. Okay, so everybody get this? Everybody get it now? So when you hear all the other techniques, the left hand techniques, you can go to your mate and you can have this sexual intercourse without losing the semen. It's not possible. And you can obtain this higher consciousness. Where's the higher consciousness start?
The heart.
Where?
The heart center.
So it's not possible. It's not possible.
So it's fake development, basically.
Huh?
I say it's no real development.
It's not real development. It's not real Tantra Yoga. Now, the basic forms of Tantra Yoga is Hatha Yoga. And Hatha Yoga teaches you it helps you to work with all different types of positions in order to strengthen the ligaments, the bones, the posture, the structure. Because why? You strengthen in this energy. And then they tell you to finish off by going in the corner and stand on your head. Why? Because they want this bijas, which is this type of energy, to flow through the brain. Why? Because bijas prepares the brain to receive a higher energy. Bijas is an aspect of Kundalini. It's a physical aspect of Kundalini. Right? It's a physical, subtle aspect of Kundalini. So if you want Kundalini to flow, then what you want to do, you want to control this. So, you have to go through periods of celibacy if you want to actually develop yourself to a high degree. And that's what it's all about. So this is, these are the energies of the body. The main energy that we survive on is this. As simple as that.
Where does that enter the body?
Where?
The Vijnana.
It's centrally located in the sex chakra. It's centrally located in the sex chakra. So I mean, when man begins to die, you lose what?
Vitality.
I guess.
You begin to lose his sex drive. So the same thing with a woman.
So is Viagra a spiritual thing? Or not?
It might be. It might be.
So those old guys who are in the 80s trying to continue, are they trying to hold on to life?
I guess so. So that's what it's all about. I mean, that's the big difference. A lot of people get confused about it, and they don't want to take it in. But it's just ABC. These are the 5 major pranas, and this is where they operate at. You have apana. Apana moves from the anus up to the solar plexus center. Then you have prana moves from the heart down to the solar plexus center, and these 3, the prana, apana, and samana, they merge. It's a conjunction there. Also, Vijnana travels through there too, right? Then you have Udana, which is at the throat. It travels down through the extremities, and it has to pass through the junction. So the solar plexus is the junction for all 5 pranas. That's why when you especially with boxers, they teach boxers and kung fu and judo people. They teach them not to make sure no one hits you in the solar plexus, because it'll knock you out. So because the solar plexus is the juncture for all 5 major pranas. So that's that's it. We are of course, everybody knows we're sex creatures. We're sex creatures. And the element for this chakra is what? Water, right?
For which one?
For the sex.
Yeah, it is.
All right. What controls water?
The moon.
The moon.
The moon. So this is the lower aspect. These are the lower aspects of the moon energy, the reflected energy.
So when we're doing the deep breathing techniques into our abdominals, we're pulling in all the pranas into our abdominal center, and then from there into our entire body.
Well, you're taking the energies down, remember, through the Ida and Pingala, and bringing them back up through Shoshana. Okay, don't concentrate on any center. All right?
I'm saying, but automatically, when we're breathing in the prana from the air into our solar
It
plexus.
depends on what time of the day it is. Because I'm going to get into that later in a later class.
Okay.
With these five major pranas come from where?
The sun.
The sun, right? And I told you the sun released the pranas every what?
32 minutes.
Every 32 minutes. And how long does the prana pervades the earth? Anybody remember?
How long?
Yeah. How long?
Oh, once it's like equator?
Yeah.
Like 2 hours?
What?
2 hours?
3 hours. 3 hours. Okay. So it's like on a 3 hour. I think it's 3 hours and 30-minute cycle or something, right? So on those cycles, if you do your pranayama practice the same time every day for a specified time, by the end of the week, you have touched all five pranas. All right, you have breathed in all five pranas. So that's why you do the prana on, and you can get a scale and just imagine that this prana is traveling at this time, this prana, and you add it up over that. I think it's 3 hours and 33 minutes or something like that, and then you will see that if you do it at a particular time, the cycle will change. And in a 5 week or 7 week period, you will have breathed in all five pranas. All right?
In the practices of Aetherius, they give 4 time periods to do the breathing exercises. And I was wondering what the significance of that was, but you just explained it.
Well, I don't want to get into that too much right now, but just read the book, the practice of Aetherius, because we're going to go deep into pranayama in our 4th class. All right. But I just want to tell you the significance of these 5 major pranas in relation to, number 1, the mind, the physical body, and how it relates to us being in the sex or the ojas that I was telling you last week. Okay? So it is not until you master these lower chakras that you master all the passions. Hatred, anger, malice, the passion for lust. All these passions are mastered when you leave the solar plexus chakra and go to the heart chakra. But while you're in this state of mind, then in most cases, that's why you have this tremendous fight. You have this tremendous fight to control your desires and passion. While you're in these, and this is where most mankind is. So that's that's the crux of did everybody understand? Everybody getting the dots connected here? Anybody want me to go over it again?
No, I got a question. So let's say if you want to activate or send Kundalini your energy to your minor chakras, would you have to take it to Dana to be able to take it to your arms and legs?
If if I tell you to pick up this bottle, and it's kind of cold, right? What happens? You feel what?
The temperature, the weight.
How does those neurons travel to your brain? Basic science tells us this.
Through your arms, down your spine, up your spine.
Nervous system and
Yeah, but before it gets to your brain, it goes where?
To the neurons.
Huh?
To the spine.
It goes up and down your spine, probably 2 times. That's what they tell us. If the signal come in, it goes down the spine, back up, down the spine, back up, double relay, and then you say, oh, that's cold. But it happens so quick that you don't notice. But yeah, everything goes through the spine. Everything goes through the spine. So, and which minor chakra are you talking about?
like the hands, arms. You said that they're connected to the throat chakra.
Yeah, well, this chakra is a major chakra. The chakra in the palm of the hand is a major chakra.
The fingers are minor.
The fingers are minor. Okay? But this is a major chakra. All right?
Is that the chakra that's used to give healing
Yeah.
energy to people?
Yeah, that along with the minor chakras, you have a lot of minor chakras at each joint. This is probably the strongest minor chakra here in the hand, the tip of the hands. If someone was to look at you psychically, they'll see the energy flowing from the tips of the hand. But this right here is a major chakra. So when we concentrate on the energy leaving the major chakra, but it's also leaving the minor chakras as well. Any other questions? Okay. So everybody gets it. Now, when we move to the superconscious, remember the conscious mind is in the physical. It's in the base of the spine, and some of the subconscious part is in the base, but majority of the subconscious mind is in the sex chakra, along with part of the conscious mind too. So our conscious and subconscious interaction mostly move back and forth between these chakras. This part of the subconscious mind takes care of what? Anybody remember?
What part?
The solar plexus.
Circulation.
The what?
Bodily function.
The bodily function, the involuntary functions. Okay? And now the superconscious mind, at this level, the superconscious mind, how does the superconscious mind work? On this level. I'm looking for the older students to tell me. How does the superconscious mind work at these levels? Nobody knows?
In the astral realm?
No.
It's almost dormant.
No. You know? Dr. King talks about this on his tape, Man's Mind, I think it is. He said you have a man that walks out.
Oh, intuition.
And what?
Like an instinct.
Intuition. It works as intuition. He gave the example that there's a man that walks out
And
of a building.
a flower pot falls.
And a flower pot or something is falling down. The man that's connected to the superconscious mind, he immediately moves out of the way because he knows something's happening. But the one who's not so connected, the superconscious mind tells him, a brick or a pot is falling, but he have to double check it. He have to look up. And then by the time he look up, he gets hit or he moves out into, just in time. But the man who's connected, he just moved.
Then he looks.
Then he looked. Then he turned because he noticed something's coming. So at this level, the superconscious mind have to send tiny bits of inspiration to us. So that's why I was telling you that you know, I mean, this is a, you know, this part of us is a great distortion. You know,
What part?
these
The
three
lower,
chakras.
the lower realms.
It's the astral, I call it the astral realms. That's the astral part. It's a great distortion. So it's very hard for the superconscious mind to get through. So we usually get through some crystal clear beam of light, some type of inspiration that jogs your whole system. And if you awake, if you're becoming more conscious and awakened, you get it. If you don't, you get hit. You know? So that's the way it works. Same way it works with animals. You know, when the earthquake hit, they say at the zoo, all the animals went crazy. Because why? Their superconscious mind had no forewarn them, you know, that something's coming. Now, we so cluttered up in our desires and passion and we attach ourselves to our property. Well, you know, we got to have the best car, we got to have the best looking house, you know, our yard has to be manicured, you know, all these things that we need in life, we attach ourselves to them. So we don't hear our higher self because we have immersed ourselves into this material world, you know. So the thing is to get out of this, to move away from this type of world, and to become more connected with the you know, with the higher self. And the higher self is in the higher chakras. So in the left hand side of so-called Tantra, you know, they will tell you something totally different. They will tell you that, oh, no, you can, you know, you need to have sex, because if you don't have sex, you don't have these sexual experiences, then, you know, you're going to lose it, you're going to, you know, this is going, you know, you're just going to die. It's foolishness. The sex energy comes, this is the sex energy, and it pervades the whole body. Okay? It's the thing that holds the body together. So when you engage in lustful type sexual experiences, you deplete the body of this. Okay? But when you abstain from it and you try to lift this energy up to a higher level, then what you do, you sustain the body and mind. You know, this type of energy, as I told you, is located where in the body?
The sex chakra.
In the entire body, and it does what? Bone marrow, the bone itself, the ligaments, you know, almost all the fluids of the body is this energy.
Does that follow the same? Does that follow the life cycle in the Ayurvedic chart? When
Yes.
When they start the cycle and it ends up at Ojas?
Yeah, in the Ayurvedic chart, they list 7.
Yeah.
Right?
Circles.
Yeah.
Ojas.
So in the I can't remember how to pronounce it. And for the this is in the Hindu, but the Ayurvedic had the same thing.
They use the same word.
They use the same word?
Yeah.
Okay. So, but it controls all those things. So the, you know, for them to say, oh no, you know, that's not the right way, this is the right. You cannot raise consciousness by engaging in multiple sex partners. So it doesn't work that way. You know, if you have to commit yourself, you know, to one. I mean, even Buddha gave up his 200 wives. So, you know, so you cannot go that route and think you're going to reach enlightenment. It doesn't work. You know. Mahatma Gandhi, he he was married, and you can be married and still do this. And it took him 4 kids before he was able to give it up.
So you're saying moderation or?
If you want to get a little better, moderation. You know, if you want to learn the teachings and get a little better, and sometimes it takes 10, 20, 30 years to do it. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we are. Yeah.
So we're talking about monogamy is as a concept or not necessarily?
No, not necessarily. I mean, if you want to have a relationship and have kids, yeah, that's good. But you commit yourself to that one person. And if you want to practice this type of yoga, then you abstain from sex while you're doing these type of practices.
But you're still committed to one person.
Yeah.
It needs to be one person.
But that person have to agree to you abstaining too, especially if you're already married.
Obviously, yeah.
Especially if you're already married.
Right.
But if you haven't, then you abstain. You abstain from sex while you're practicing these things, because the thing is, let's say, I don't want to go this way, but I'm gonna tell you. Let's
Have a choice.
let's say you don't abstain, and you engage in these sexual activities and you do these practices, right? What happens as you do the deep breathing practice in the different yogas, you begin to open channels of energy in these different psychic centers. Now you have an auric body. Most of your auric body is what? What did I say most of the auric body is?
Mind substance.
The subconscious mind, right? So the subconscious, what is the subconscious mind? The subconscious mind
It's the animal in you.
is it's kind of like animal, but what the unique thing about the subconscious mind is that what?
Remembers everything.
It is what?
Remember.
Not only that, but it's a loyal servant
The karma.
of karma, to karma. What is karma? Karma is the divine law. So you created an action. The subconscious mind is going to give you the reaction to the action. You open up your psychic centers through all these different practices, day after day, month after month, and now you're receiving different psychic images and energies. So all of a sudden, you dive down and go into this sex-craved fiesta, right? Your psychic center's still open. Now, everybody knows when you get into a sexual, lustful state, if I ask you your name, you won't be able to tell me. You'll stutter. So what's that telling you? That you deep down into the thalamus. You are deep down in this inert, animal-type passion, you know. So you open up to these type of images. Now, it's just not this anymore. It might be a little this, a little this, and a little this. That you scar your aura with that. It's called samskaras.
But in order for you to go back into that tamic state, are those actions actually reversing the evolutionary flow of Kundalini and pushing it back down into evolution?
It's pushing the Kundalini down now instead of up. So the result of that is madness, idiocy, all levels of mental illness, and maybe some disease. So you have to be very careful. So what we're taught that if you're doing it in moderation, like I said, if you stop for 3-4 years, and then you get ready to go back into having a sexual partner, then you taper off your development, lower your vibrations. And then you have your sexual partner. When you get ready to go back in, you slowly build your vibrations back up. You know, but if you just go right into it with all your psychic centers open and your aura flowing in the proper way, you can hurt yourself. You know, so you give yourself and taper yourself off for 7, 8, 9, 10 days, and then do whatever you got to do, and then before you go back in, you slowly move yourself back into it. You don't rush right back into it. So that's the way you do it. But it's very, very dangerous to do those type of techniques, those left hand techniques. And this is, you can study this and then go back to the books with this type of knowledge and see what they're talking about. Because you can see the flow of energy and the level of consciousness. Great illumination starts here. Below these, you're dealing with desire and detachment and everything else. When you get up to these levels, you're dealing more of a pure level. But even at the heart chakra, you still have some things to get rid of. You know, but by the time you reach the throat chakra, it's pure. You know, your aura is clean. And of course, the Christ chakra, you become a devata.
And at what point does your auric body like disappear? Like you don't see your aura?
Up here and here. That's when you pull all the energy into the body. Because then you become a devata. Devata is someone who abides by the supreme laws of karma. Immediately you think about blood, bones, and everything else. You just polluted the mental atmosphere. Because why? You don't control your mind. You don't control these three little chakras. Someone with control of imagination, they wouldn't think that. They'll say, well, I'll go and check on them to make sure they're all right. You know? But they won't think, oh my God, they laying out in the middle of the road, blood flying everywhere. You know, you just polluted the atmosphere. So the higher beings, they don't do that. They absorb that energy, and the only energy they allow to be released is predetermined by them. You know, that's the like I was telling you earlier. Intelligence is when you predetermine your movement. You know, that's what intelligence is. You know, when you just let things happen, you know, that's ignorance. That's a level of ignorance. All right. Any other questions? In here, I gave you or did you get it? I gave you the seven major chakras, and also show you the 7 lower astral realms, starting from the base of the spine down. Those are what the Christians call the hells. And then you have the 3 basic and general astral realms between the base and the solar plexus chakra. And then from the heart chakra up, you have the higher etheric realms. All right. I'll also show you this ovoid shape around the body is the auric fields here on this diagram. And the aura surrounds the body. It's like a magnetic field. It's actually your mind, the mind substance, or your mental body. And there's many levels to the mental body. And we'll try to get into the samskaras probably in the next 2 classes. to talk about how that mental body affects you and how you know, how you need to control the passions and how it all, when you have a thought, it becomes a seed. An action or thought becomes a seed for later energy, power, or situations that you get into. So that's why it's good to predict your every movement. And then in the next page, I give a chart, a table that shows you the correlation of the Sanskrit names and the English names, and the residing Mahabindus, how it's connected to the moon, the sun, and the earth, and then the seed mantras for those particular chakras, and then the names of the different rims. And then you go. I'm going to put this on the web too, so you can have it in your hard drive. This is I give the components to the chakras, to every chakra. You'll have these same components to it. And we didn't get a chance to go into this. See what time it is. We will go into it the next time. I didn't go over this the last time, did I?
No.
I kind of touched on it this time, but we'll go into we will start off the next class on this. We'll go into the Sushumna Nadi and show that there's 3 channels to the spine or Sushumna. All right, and it shows how each one of them work. And also there again, it shows you the how important the bijas or the sex energy is in the body when trying to raise the power Kundalini.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, you're trying to control your sex drive and bijas and all that, but then you have like a nocturnal emission. Do you have to start all over?
You have a what?
Like a nocturnal emission? Like, you got to start over? Like, it's not your fault.
Depends on how far you fall.
Like, it wasn't your fault. Like, you were sleeping. You couldn't stop yourself. Like, oh.
Good question.
I tell you what Sivananda said. He said, look at every woman as your mother. You had to curb your appetite. and the woman to look at every man as their father or their uncle, you know. Maybe the uncle to come to the family gatherings drunk. And that occurred the appetite too, so that's one way to do it. But yeah, so I mean, it depends on the level of your mind, the level of your concentration, how fast you can get into a state of concentration or contemplation. It all depends. You know, so, but definitely stay away from promiscuity, all these, you know, different things. And it's a sacred energy. And if you want to actually deal with the true path of Tantra Yoga, then that's one thing you have to deal with. You know, other than that, you know, this will run most people away. They hear about it and they think about the left-hand part of Tantra. And most people are not going to tell you like I'm telling you, but you know, it's the truth. And on the website, on the Mystic Knowledge.org website, I don't know if you got the email, I put 15 books there. One of the books is called The Practice of Brahmacharya. It's all about celibacy. It's more Eastern, it's more for the Eastern people. All of that doesn't pertain to some of the Western people, but it gives you a good idea of the basic science that they put behind celibacy, and so it's not a hard read. It does have a lot of Sanskrit in it, but it's a very easy read at the same time. And you can just, you don't have to read the whole thing, just go to the areas that you just want to look at. But remember, it was written in India, and it was mostly for the Eastern people. So it gives you an idea of what it all means. And you know, after this, once you control this, then, you know, for a period of time, it doesn't have to be a lifetime thing unless you want to become some great master. But for a period of time, you will notice that it'll be easier to develop your psychic abilities. It'll be easier to take on your tasks of service, devotion. It'll be easier you'll begin to have visions, you'll begin to see things, to hear things, to smell things. Your psychic senses, your astral senses will merge with your physical senses, and that will develop psychic abilities. And then as you move on, your psychic abilities will merge with your psychic sight. The astral and the physical will merge with the etheric senses, and then you will become ultra psychic. But you know, those are the steps. You know, and you can do it. You know, you just develop. No one can tell you exactly how long or how you should do it. There is if you want to get a little better, moderation. You know, if you want to be as best as you can, strict celibacy. You know, but I mean, that's the only way. There's the techniques that say, well, don't waste your seed. It doesn't work. And I just gave you a reason why it doesn't work. Okay? Any other questions? I know it's a killer. but this is the teaching. Go ahead.
Yeah, along with what you were saying, do you have to also change like the music you listen to, your diet, and stuff like that?
Yeah, in that book, I didn't get into all that, but in the book, it goes into that. But a lot of the stuff they mention in there is Eastern stuff. I'm a strict vegetarian, and most mystics or yogis are strict vegetarians. Believe it or not, I never ate meat in my life. And that's one thing, you have to give up meats. I gave up all meats. I don't even eat poultry. I never ate poultry. I could have ate poultry growing up, but I didn't. And of course, wine.
That's a tough one.
Mostly liquor, not necessarily wine though. But hard liquor, definitely no. A little bit of wine a day is all right, although I don't drink any wine or any liquor at all.
Fish.
I don't eat fish either.
No milk, no dairy.
I do drink milk, and I do cheese once in a while. I started eating eggs when I was 20-some years old. Only because I was in college and I just needed something quick. But
A lot of water.
a lot of water. I drink more water than anything. And most yogis drink water or milk. Now the Eastern yogis, they drink a lot of milk. They drink a lot of milk. And they eat a lot of butter and rice. That's how they get their weight. Same with me. Because I had a diet for a long time of beans, rice, and pasta and potatoes. And that's the diet. Now they tell you to stay away from curry, from onions, from a lot of spicy foods. Fish, meat, stay away from those things. Those are foods of passion.
Rajas.
You know, so you gotta, you stay away from those things. And if you do eat it in moderation, you know. But yeah, you have to change your diet, and they give a little whole thing in there about that when you're doing that. And now, music. I know a lot of people can't deal with. They can't stay away from that music. They love this rap thing, and I don't know where they get it from. But that hardcore type music like that is not good for you. You know, rock and roll. Although I like all type of music, but you know, rock and roll, hard rap, all that stuff, blues and all of that, it's not really good for you. It actually has the ability to reach inside the auric field and pull up the samskaras, the seeds of past memories. You know, you turn a song on, and all of a sudden, it brings up something that happened to you in the past, and then you go into this trance-like state, thinking about all of that. You know, that's the dangers of music. You know, so you have to be very careful about what you listen to and how you listen to it. You know, because it has that ability to put you in these trance-like type states and pull up old memories and have you to have a flood of emotions that you don't want to have while you're trying to control your emotions. So you have to do those things. Yeah.
What about psychedelics and recreational?
Stay away from it.
So,
yeah. You want cancer of the aura? Take it. And when you die, you will end up in some type of hospital over there. And when you come back in your next life, you'll come back deformed, blind, crippled, and it may take you 2, 3, 4 lifetimes to get rid of that. Your auric body is with you for millions and millions of years. If you believe in the other side, believe in the auric body. With psychedelic drugs, destroy the auric body. It puts gaping holes in it. The same way that what's the type of those drugs they mixing all this medication with now? They take prescriptions and mix it. What they call that?
Ecstasy.
The meth?
Meth, yeah. Did you see the scans of the brain they did on those people? How they're putting holes in their brain?
Mm-hmm.
Well, marijuana, cocaine, LSD does the same thing to the aura. It messes up the auric fields. It creates vacuums and holes and distortion. And then when you go on the other side, you know, when you throw off the physical body, you throw off the astral body, and you go on the other side to take on an astral or etheric body, that body is deformed. You won't get an etheric body, you know, nothing that you can function out of. You have to go to the lower astral realms, and you'll have to function through a deformed body. I mean, that's what happens with people that take these psychedelic drugs. So I know that's a popular thing with a lot of people now. They take these drugs in order to have so-called elevated states. It's not elevated states. When they come out of them, ask them to draw a picture. It'll tell you exactly where they've been. Because they'll draw a picture of something that you see somewhere in hell. You know, so it doesn't elevate your mind. You know, it's very, very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. So don't do that. Any other questions? Okay then, let's go ahead and close out.